Good evening, folks. Thanks very much for watching. So yeah, thanks very much for tuning in to CashingWatcher.com. It is Friday, the 31st of May, and today is the official and final June 2013 forecast for how conditions are going to be shaping up for June 2013. So first of all, we're going to go through the long-range models at the South Korea model and also CFS model. First of all, we're going to look at the South Korea model, and then moving through to the more short-term stuff, and then going through to the CFS model, and then summarising it all up with the MJO. So as I say, thanks very much for watching. You might want to grab yourself something to eat, or perhaps a snack to drink, something to drink as well. As this video will be anywhere between 5 and also 10 minutes long. So first of all, starting with the South Korean model, this is actually going through the June steps. So it's going through a step-by-step forecast of June. So it's going through middle and towards late June. And so let's just zoom into this chart here, which is middle June. So this is what you're looking at now, is the South Korean model forecast for middle June. And the striking thing here is high pressure across many parts of the country. The polar vortex is snug up to north of the country, so quite mild conditions for many parts of the country. Warm too, with high pressure across many zones of the country. So the South Korean model is going for this middle part of June, shaping up to be quite a nice month, quite a nice period. As we go through towards late June, which is just on the right here, well then the polar vortex has come down south, which is seeing many parts in the low pressure influences. Just a hint here that perhaps high pressure just clinging on against these southwestern parts of the country, but this is a fairly unsettled theme indicated from the South Korea model. So the indication from the South Korean model, the first one we looked at today, is that these middle areas of June, these earlier middle parts of June, see these warmer conditions, and then we go through towards later parts of June, things turn much more settled with an area of low pressure across many parts of the country. And I can't help thinking, looking at other guides, other models, that we could see this breakdown through towards the end part of June. So just looking more short term, as in the forecast from the GFS ensemble, currently in a warm phase. Temperatures start to cool off this weekend, tiny bit, but temperatures still quite high. As we go through towards the end this week, though, into the middle part of June, temperatures start to rise again. So it's this idea of temperatures building as we go through towards the middle part of June. Notice what happens as we go through towards the end of June. Temperatures start to plateau more, notice, as we go through towards the end of June. And the rainfall, notice, starts to go on the uptrend again through towards the middle to end part of June. So again, indicating perhaps this breakdown coming in from around the 9th or 10th of June. And the North Atlantic, what's the North Atlantic Oscillation saying? Well, currently in this westerly phase, but high pressure starts to come into the country, and that's indicated there by this negative phase. So high pressure moving around starts to come south through the country, then we work into this more negative phase. High pressure starting to go back to north, and I can't help thinking that this is a pattern that the NAO forecast is saying. Perhaps high pressure starts to retrogress through the country after its influences through this early part of June. And just looking at the MJO, well, we're currently in this phase 1, sort of phase 2 period. We swing around towards phase 2 soon into the middle part of June. By the way, the dates are on the bottom here. That's the 7th of June, that's the 6th of June. The dates are the phases, and they move through the phases there. So as we go through towards phase 3, we're in day 9 and day 10, so towards the 10th of June. As we go through towards the 12th, 11th of June, we go into phase 4. Now phase 3 to phase 4 is a transition to more of a westerly flow through the country. So this is mean that as we go through towards sort of the 10th, 11th and 12th of June, that we go to more westerly flow, so we start to see some rainfall after this sort of early part of June being nice and mild, warm too, high pressure influence around. We start to go into this more westerly flow with low pressure somewhere across the British Isles as we go through towards this middle part of June, especially from around the sort of 10th, 11th and 12th of June. And just looking at the forecast from the CFS version 2, well, the CFS version 1 was discontinued last July, and this is the new edition of the CFS version 2. This is going for precipitation. It's going for a dry month across many areas of the country. Notice here we've got the red across many areas of dry conditions indicated here, and perhaps the westerly flow across these far northwestern parts towards Greenland and also Iceland. And notice we could have a trough stuck over the southern and eastern parts of Europe here, indicated by these wetter conditions here, and that's again here indicating that CFS version 2 wants to go for a north-south split through the country, although I'm not quite sure the CFS version has got precipitation quite right yet. I think we'll see precipitation coming out near normal after a more settled end to the month and its dry sort of start. And CFS for temperature, well, I think CFS for temperature got more of a handle on this. It's got warmer conditions out towards Scandinavia, which I think may be the case. And it's got these cooler conditions, look through the Mediterranean and the British Isles in near normal temperature, notice, perhaps from these cool conditions to the southeast, perhaps indicating low pressure here. But I don't think the temperature even here will be below normal. It's going for a near normal month away from the frost east of the country. This has got more of a handle, I think, where things will go through June from the CFS version 2. And this is a focus from the ECMWF and also the GFS going for 8 to 10 day means at 500 millibar, 2,000 feet. On the left, we've got the ECMWF. On the right, we've got the GFS. And this is going for what's happening at 18,000 feet, 500 millibar in the atmosphere. And when you've got high pressure, again, that indicates by the reds, and you've got low pressure, that's indicated by the troughs and also the blues. And the interesting thing here is it looks like there's a time story going on here. So the ECMWF has got an earlier time scale, and then the GFS has got later time scale with that high pressure starting to retrogress away from the country. So this idea perhaps to go through towards sort of these middle parts of June, through towards I think past the 8 to 10 day period, that we start to see these lower pressure conditions coming through many parts of the country, with high pressure starting to leave the country and moving through towards north country, and we see low pressure influence through many areas of the country. So thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to tell your friends about castingsothewatcher.com if you like it. Okay, to summarise then, well, I think we'll see precipitation near normal throughout the month of June, and temperature near normal as well. Put more detail on the focus then, well, I think these early parts of June will probably see high pressure in across many parts of the country, especially from the 1st to the 7th of June. And to go through from the 7th to sort of 13th, I think we'll start to see low pressure or shortwave areas of low pressure start to pop up across the British Isles, and these may bring some heavy showers in places. To go through towards the middle part of June, we'll then think low pressure will start to becoming the dominant force, setting itself up across the country, and that could bring more, unsettled conditions to go through towards the second half of June, and shower conditions too, leading up towards the end of June as well, perhaps even some torrential downpours in 1 or 2 places. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to tell your friends about castingsothewatcher.com if you like it, and thanks very much for watching, and tune in tomorrow. It's a 5-day forecast for the UK, and see you later.